Everybody, welcome. Hello and welcome to everybody on this great, what is it, Thursday, right?
It is Thursday, yeah. It's Thursday.
1 week till Thanksgiving. In our final prep for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I'm super excited to have Edward and Jeremy joining me. Say hello, guys.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's going on?
All right, so Jeremy with the beard, Edward without the beard.
Yep.
We're going to cover some really cool stuff today about Black Friday prep. But really, what we're really here to do is we're here to answer questions. So we've got some good content. We're going to go through it kind of quickly, but we're here to answer questions. So fire off those questions, drop them in. We're going to take a look at them. We're going to try to get to as many of those questions as we can, and really be here to kind of help you guys out, give you guys some final tips, some final advice, and such. So first question I have for you is, are you running a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber 5 deal? Right? That's what I want to that's what I want to know. Are you running one of those deals? So don't just put yes or no. Say like BF, Black Friday deal, CM, Cyber Monday deal, Lightning deal. Tell me what kind of deal you're running. Are you running it on Amazon, off Amazon, combo? What kind of deals are you guys running? Let's see them. Go ahead and get them posted. All right, so Ashley's doing Black Friday and Cyber Monday on and off. Jennifer's doing some Lightning deals. Helen is doing a site-wide 30% off. Let's see, Perry, Lightning deal each week. Some combos, no Amazon deals, just email blast. Right, lots of awesome stuff coming through here.
Yeah.
Glad to see what you guys are doing. First thing I'm going to tell you is it's not too late. I mean, it might be too late for a Lightning deal because you had to pre-plan that, but it's not too late. You can still take advantage of some of these things. Yes, Max, you can ask questions regarding Ignite, and you want PPC Ed to answer them. We'll decide whether it's going to be PPC Ed or not. All right, you ready, Ed?
Could be Jeremy too. Jeremy's my right-hand man, and he knows pretty much just about everything that I know as well. So it's not just me anymore. Okay, guys?
Although he's on your left.
Well, all right, yeah. So let's jump into this before I get confused anymore.
Yeah.
We have a great presentation.
He's on your right as people are looking at the screen, so you're okay.
Killing me, man, killing me. So we'll jump right into this. We were able to make a presentation to really discuss more about, what to do leading into Black Friday and Cyber Monday. One thing that I'll touch on is it's not just Black Friday, guys. This is really huge time of the year. You have to do it before Black Friday, during it, and then the weekend after, then also the week after. It's not just for a small period of time. So to start, some of the topics we're going to discuss are really what to expect this year overall, just some of the things that you can expect and some things that you're going to see. And then also how to prepare. We have some steps in place where we can actually, really get you ready for the advertising, get you ready for the sales, get you ready for the traffic that's coming in. And speaking of advertising, how to really win when you are advertising. This is both of our favorite topic, honestly. This is what we do all day, every day, and we enjoy talking about advertising during Q4 because it's so different from every other time of the year. And then, of course, everybody else's favorite topic is going to be Q&A. Not just for PPC Ed, but also PPC Jeremy, and then also Jeff as well. So we're all going to be here.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
All right. So just to start off, what to expect, guys, as you know, when it comes to Black Friday, when it comes to the Cyber 5, as it's called, and Cyber Monday, and really the end of November and December, there are more shoppers and more traffic on Amazon. This seems pretty obvious, but a lot of times you don't realize how much more traffic you're going to have. And this isn't just for advertising. This is traffic in general. This is going to be a lot more sessions all over the place, a lot more people looking on Amazon, going through. A lot of people will actually start their shopping on Amazon. Then they'll go to possibly brick and mortar or retail as well. But a lot of that does start on Amazon. So there's a lot of potential leads right there for awesome sales going forward.
Yeah, so I was going to jump in and add something to that. I think the thing with more shoppers and more traffic is that as we're looking at our listings, we have to be able to analyze our data to understand what that data is, what that data means. And, one of the challenges, and maybe we can talk about this in the Q&A part, one of the challenges that sellers have is that Amazon data is not real time, right? So it's delayed. So I like to say Amazon data is built for a marathon, not for a sprint. And so what we're looking at over the next week is a sprint, but the marathon is from now through like January 20th, right? Like post gift cards. So don't think that like you got these 5 days and that's it. It's a much wider time period.
Yeah. And definitely you just touched on a great topic there. It's not just the traffic right before holidays. Guys, people are getting people gift cards, or they're getting money to use after the holidays. So that definitely brings up a great point to where a lot of these types of topics and methods you can use all the way through January, because you're going to have a lot of shoppers still coming back after the holidays to really spend more money and to look for different products, or maybe to use those gift cards that they got for Christmas or for the holidays and as a whole.
Yeah, so Jennifer was asking what kind of increase in traffic are we looking at? If we look at the past, right, the past to indicate the future, Amazon, you'll typically see some type of bump between 40 and 60% from the previous year. That's usually driven from more people looking on the platform. So that gives you some kind of indication of what type of traffic bump you could be looking to potentially experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely that brings us to our next point is shoppers are going to be browsing more. Guys, do not forget about this. This is something we see in PPC all the time. We're going to see a lot of shoppers going on there, clicking on ads, really looking at products and not really committing yet, because maybe they're trying to compare products. Maybe they're trying to look around for a little bit, or they're just trying to add stuff to their wish list, honestly. And this is going to be something you have to keep in the back of your mind, is you may have a lot of sessions, you may have a lot of clicks with your advertising that hasn't converted yet, but it will later on most of the time. So you can actually see a large swell of actual conversions towards the end of November leading into December as well. And this goes out to everybody running PPC campaigns. Don't be scared or afraid right now if you're seeing a swell in clicks and no correlated conversions. That's why it's great to use a tool like Ignite that gives you a 30-day window of attribution, as opposed to Amazon only giving you 7 days. That means if someone clicks on an ad and they look at the product, and they wait 2 weeks to buy it, that can still come back as an actual sell from a click inside of your advertising data. So that's also a great feature to look into.
Yeah, and I think one of the things on the browsing shoppers is that, as you said, the shoppers are jumping multiple devices. They're shopping multiple locations. This is where, and I know we're gonna talk about listings, but like this is where you've got to give the data that people are looking for. So I'll give an example, right? Real life example. My kids want a ping pong table, and so I've been shopping for a ping pong table for my kids. Shh, don't tell them. And this is what they better not be. They're at school. So I went on Amazon and I typed in ping pong table and I looked at a whole bunch of stuff. I then, I called the community manager here at Seller Labs because we just bought a ping pong table for the office. I wanted to do some, what are we getting here? I went and I looked at Dick's to see what they have. Do I want to buy it local or do I want to ship it? And I think I finally have come to a decision of what I want. And I'm now going to watch that for a few days. I want to see, like, do any ping pong tables go on sale over the holiday weekend? Because I know I can order this on Prime and get it delivered in a day. So I'm not in a rush. So I'm a really good example of exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm the exact opposite because I didn't wait. I bought something and now it's a lot cheaper. And I am the exact problem with this because I should have waited and looked around for deals, but I was too excited. So that's just on me though. So, all right. And one of the final things to really look out for is you're going to get more sales in a shorter amount of time. Just like we said, there's going to be a lot of people on Amazon. You are probably going to see a lot more sales in a more condensed period of time because people are willing to spend more money. They have more reason to spend more money. It's not just really just passive, just buying items as they need them. They're looking for specific things. They have ideas of what they want. It's just a matter of getting it in time. So you're probably going to see that too. That's what we see a lot of times with a lot of our clients is we do see a big swell of actual sales around this time of year as well. So there's a big swell of clicks for a while that aren't converting, and then you have a big swell of sales that convert as well.
Awesome. So big question is, how do you prepare? What's too late? What can I be doing today? Where should I prioritize? Let's lead into that.
Yeah. So definitely one thing to remember as you're really getting ready for really this time of year is, remember, it's not just Black Friday. And I think Jeremy can attest to that, because everybody has been panicking probably for the past month about Black Friday. And it's not just that period of time. It actually is going to be really the biggest time is the week before Black Friday, the Cyber 5 weekend, and also the week after is where you're going to see a large swell there.
I mean, you're going to really see that swell up through the Prime Day shutoff for Amazon, right? So think about it. Like I just told you, I'm looking to buy a ping pong table. I can order that on Prime. I can get that in 2-day delivery. I didn't even check. Maybe I can even get that in 1-day delivery. So I really don't have to make my decision for a number of days unless there's some kind of incentive that gets me to make that decision. And I say, oh, there's a coupon, I don't want to give it up. Or, oh man, I got to put that thing together. I better give myself a little more time.
And also, just like what you talked about, Jeff, I want you to touch on this too, is, strong listings matter. This is huge. Like, I know it's a
huge part of what we have to deal with. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Even with advertising, if you don't have a strong listing, you won't get conversions. That also goes for normal traffic as well. Just like you said, Jeff, you have to give them the metrics and the information about the product, so they'll have a higher chance to actually convert on your product and buy your product, not somebody else's that's advertising or has the same one just up on Amazon. Yeah.
So here's my tip. Jeremy and I were talking about this morning, right? You go into the holidays and you've got 25 keywords that you want your product to rank for. And all of a sudden you are like freaking out because you're not ranking for 4 or 5 of them. That's the wrong approach to take. You need to have a very definitive plan for 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 5 keywords for a particular listing. It's not possible to optimize a title, bullets, photos, description, back-end keywords for 25 different keywords. Figure on the ones that are the most important to you, the ones that you think you can win on, and spend your time and focus on those. Think about adding things like gifts for him, gifts for her, things that are kind of holiday-esque. Look at your questions and answers. Look at what people are talking about your product and add that stuff back into your descriptions or your enhanced brand content. Look at your reviews. See what people are saying about your product and use that information to write better descriptions, better bullet points. Now's the time of the year where people are doing a little bit more research into what they're looking for. It's not as much impulse buying.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's not as much as I'll just buy the cheapest option that's on there. And if it's the top result, Amazon's choice, cool, I'm going to do it. Of course, that helps, but it's not the primary, factor for all of it.
Yeah.
All right. And hey, look at that. Just like, we talked about before too. It's like, Jeff, it's like you've seen this presentation before or something. So something else is coupons and discounts. I know a really great practice with doing a coupon or, lowering the price on some of your items or just like a temporary discount is to do it definitely before Black Friday. Have you seen any best practices with that at all?
Yeah, so everybody wants the holiday toy badge, the best choice badge, all of those badges. Like we all really like strive to get those badges. The really cool thing with coupons is that we have the ability to get a coupon badge. And what's cool about a coupon badge is that it really makes your product stand out on the search results page. So coupons will cost you about 60 cents per redemption, and they really make your product stand out. So go take your main keyword, go type it into Amazon, look at the results that are there, see if any of your competitors are listing coupons, and if not, consider how you can use a coupon to drive people to to your sales. So I'm going back to my ping pong table, right? I'm actually doing this right now, and I was looking to see, hey, is anybody actually doing a coupon? And there's one person who's offering a coupon, but they literally are offering a coupon for $3.33 off a $92 purchase. That coupon is not really a coupon that's going to drive somebody to make a decision about your product. So think about like holidays. Think about how you shop, right? Like this is what it comes down to. Think about how you shop. Don't think about how my wife shops, right? She doesn't look for the coupons. Think about how you shop. You look for the coupons. You're looking for the deal. You want to see, people say, oh, should I use dollars? Should I use percent off? I say that whichever one looks better, right? Mm-hmm. So 10% off on a $100 product might look better than it's saying $10 off. No, exactly. $1.50 off might not look as good as saying $10 off if it's a $10.50 product. So think about like the price of your product and the type of coupons. We had a question asked earlier was about, is it too late? So it is too late for lightning deals. You can set up coupons today. There is a delay in how long it takes for coupons to get up and running, but you can set up coupons today and you can have them, live before the cyber holiday starts. Remember, shoppers are looking for coupons. So the other thing you can use are discounts. Some people call these stackable coupons. This is like buying multiple of your products. So buy 2, save 10, buy 3, save 15. Or it could be like buy my ping pong table and buy my ping pong paddles and save 10%. So I'm stacking 2 products together and then I get a discount. So some different types of coupons you could be using. Be thinking about how you can build those into your equation. By the way, if you use the stackable coupon and they buy both, you start to win the frequently bought together. So there is a logic to this. But remember, it comes down to the mentality of the shopper. And the mentality of the shopper is it's the holidays, they want a deal. And so you should find some way to kind of put that deal in front of them.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And do not forget that coupons do show up on the actual like results for whenever you do a search. So these are great when you're pairing this with strong advertising. Yeah. It's just getting those deals in front of more people and you have a wider reach. And definitely, just like Jeff said, think about how you shop. I am a sucker for a good deal. I will buy something I don't need just because it's 50% off because it's such a good deal. I can't let it go. So keep that mentality in mind. Definitely think about, the common shopper who's going through. It is the holidays. People want to spend money, but they want to spend it, correctly. They don't want to just throw it out and hope for the best. All right. And this is the time that everybody has been waiting for because now
Jeff shuts up and you guys take over.
Now we can talk about the main part of the show. So guys, advertising is completely different when it comes to Q4. There's types of theories that I always speak about and I say, don't do this and do this. A lot of times I have to throw that out the window. I'm not a hypocrite. It's just a different time of the year. I promise. There's just different tactics that you have to apply to your advertising to get the most out of it. And the first one is you have to spend money to make money. And Jeremy is going to tell us all about this.
Definitely. So if you've been a little more conservative up to this point and you're wanting to find a reason to be a little more aggressive with your advertising, this is the time. This is the time to do it. When it comes to advertising with Amazon and Q4, right now is kind of the big things you want to make sure you're doing is kind of increasing your budgets to kind of make sure that you're not running out, random times of the day. When it comes to this time of the year, it's more likely that you're going to be, you log in one day and all of a sudden see that,
9 o'clock, your budget's gone.
Yeah.
Just that completely fast. Out.
Just so fast. You kind of want to make sure that you're monitoring that. You're checking to make sure that you're continuing to advertise with your campaigns. You're not letting them run out.
Right.
Also, with that said, it's also making sure that your bids are staying competitive. That's most likely going to work best if you're looking at your campaigns on a keyword level, not just an overall level, not just going into just adjusting the ad groups or the budgets, but also actually going in and looking at those keywords and making sure that you're winning. That's, looking at impressions and making sure that you're actually getting the traffic that you want to get.
Right.
It's looking at your click-through rates, making sure that if you have low click-through rates, that you're increasing the bids so that you're actually getting the momentum and the traffic that you want to get. Outside of that, also, if you're not using it and you're trying to think about Bid Plus, it's a good time of the year to be able to try turning that on. Basically, what that does is it allows your bid to be able to be competitive up to 50% of what it's set. So if you have a bid set of $1, that's allowing you to spend up to $1.50.
Mhm.
That's just to make sure that you're winning with those terms. You don't want to just go and turning those on every term. That's going to be a way where you can make sure that you're blowing out your budget, but you can also use the placement reports to be able to see what terms are actually ranking at the top placement, and using Bid Plus on those is a good starting point to be able to see what has a possibility of working best for you.
Yeah, and definitely.
Yeah, so I think that was a big golden nugget.
Yes.
Okay,
Huge.
that was a big golden nugget. So I want you to take a second and repeat that, and start with the campaign performance report and what you look for in that report, and then how you determine whether you're going to use Bid Plus. So Bid Plus. So Linda just asked, is Bid Plus in Seller Labs or Amazon? And it's actually in both.
Mhm.
So in Ignite, you can turn Bid Plus on and off. Within Amazon, you can turn Bid Plus on and off. And the biggest question we get asked from people is like, should I run it?
Right.
And it kind of comes down to like a mathematical equation as to whether you should run it. And that all comes from the campaign performance report. So explain that again, because I want to make sure that people understand that, because you dropped the big bomb, and I want to make sure we really explain that to people.
Yeah, I can go more in depth on it. So what it is really, there's a there's a campaign placement report that you can download from Amazon, and this is actually a report that you can find within your advertising. And what this does is it shows you exactly where your campaigns are placing. Well, it shows exactly where they're placing in Amazon standards. So it's going to say either top of the page or other. And top of the page is literally a top of the page advertisement. It's a top result whenever something is searched for. And other is other placements on Amazon. It's about as detailed as you can get. But if you see that a campaign is placing at the top of the page constantly, and it's actually converting at a great rate, it's actually giving you a good return, that is more than likely a campaign that you want to turn Bid Plus on. And the reasoning behind that is Bid Plus not only says, hey, I'm willing to spend more money, I'm willing to spend up to 50% more to get better placement. Most of the time, that better placement is top of the page placement. So if you have a campaign that you see that works well at the top of the page, by turning on Bid Plus for that campaign, you can keep that campaign at the top of the page more, and you'll continue to get those great results. This is why you don't want to do this on all your campaigns. If you have a terrible campaign that doesn't perform no matter what, do not turn this on, guys. This is just going to lead to a lot of wasted ad spend. You need to be more careful with this. It's just going to tell Amazon to spend more money to get you top of the page. And if you're not converting there anyways, there's no use in doing this, honestly.
Yeah, and I just want to correct one thing you said, which is that Bid Plus is only for you. It's not actually bidding for you to just get higher placement. It's bidding for you to get top of placement. So you're only paying that extra to get that top of placement. It's not just like this, hey, Amazon, take more money if you have the chance to take more money. I think it's very, there's a lot of misconceptions about Bid Plus. And I think that the more we learn about it and the more that we implement it, the more we find it for the clients that it works,
Right.
That it really works, because it's this reverse thinking that I spend more money to get better placement, and it actually lowers my ACOS.
Right.
Because as I get better placement, my conversion is actually higher. And so that's what you're looking for in the campaign placement report. You're looking for your conversion rate on top of placement to be higher than run of the page. And when that occurs, usually it makes sense to do Bid Plus.
Right.
Mhm.
So definitely, guys, check into this. You can pull the report today. I would say definitely get this prepared before next week, honestly. It's something that's usually good to already have running right now. But you want to have that data to back it up. Like I said, don't just turn it on to turn it on. Don't just turn it on to say that you did it and you're a cool person. Turn it on because you have data to back it up, just like you do with anything else PPC wise. Have the data to back it up to show that it's actually worth like your time. And something else as well, I see we have a lot of questions about increasing bid to stay competitive. Guys, there is no set amount to increase them by. Just a rule of thumb that we do is like if we see that a certain keyword is performing well and it's converting and has a desirable A cost, we might increase the bid by 30%. If you see a keyword that's not doing too well, but it's still converting, you may want to increase that slider just because you don't have enough data to back it up and say it's going to do incredible with that higher spend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I want to do one last thing that came up in the questions, and then we'll move on and get to a lot of these in the Q&A. And so Shell said, I'm bidding $4 on a keyword that shows as sponsored first on page 2. Would it be a good candidate for Bid Plus? Cannot answer that question without seeing your campaign performance report. That's the kicker. So like, it's not just like where are you currently located? How much are you bidding? Does it make sense to bid more? It's looking at that campaign performance report. That's the kicker. So give me the details on that. Tell me your conversion for run of the page versus top of the page. And I could probably answer that question for you even on this webinar. All right, let's keep going.
Look at you, Jeff.
Value, buddy. I give value.
Yeah. All right. And so now the next step is really to clean up your campaigns. It's spring cleaning, but it's not spring. And this is way more impressive when you do it correctly. So this is something you have to do way before everything kind of hits the fan. You want to make sure that you're cleaning up your campaigns before you have millions of shoppers seeing your ad all the time. You have to do this beforehand.
Right. And then after that, it's just removing any chance of increased wasted ad spend. So this all just comes down to making sure that you're setting negatives. You know, if you're running auto campaigns, even a lot with manual campaigns, just making sure that you're going in there, even if it's just once a week to, you know, check and make sure that you're not wasting money on terms that aren't relevant to your product. Right. You know, if you just want to, if you can pull that search term report, I guess I'm going to be talking a lot about reports today.
Yeah.
But no, if you pull that search term report and just take a few moments to look through and see just kind of what people are actually searching to find your product, you know, and if you're finding that this, you're like, I don't even understand how people would click on my ad if this is what they search. Good possibility that that's probably why it maybe didn't make a conversion. But who knows, maybe you did see that it gets conversions, and maybe you come to discover that
you found a new term.
Keywords.
Yeah,
so,
it's crazy. Yeah,
it's definitely worth looking into if you haven't taken the time to look through those search term reports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you're looking and if you're looking on like Ignite, you just set a filter for any campaign that's got a click and it has no conversions, or it has spend and it has no conversion. And you'll see all of those, and you can then just do bulk additions to your negative keywords. And I think the kicker to that is exactly what you guys said. Is like, this is where you can use automation, but you have to use human intelligence. Like, look at the keyword. If you sell a plastic product and the keyword is stainless steel, make it negative.
Yep.
Like, you know, yes, there maybe is 1 out of 100 people who's going to say stainless steel, but they really want plastic. But the truth of the matter is, when someone is looking for stainless steel, they want stainless steel and they're not going to buy plastic.
Yeah. Right. And it's definitely good to not have that, well, maybe one person will buy it if I keep it here. You don't want to have that mentality. Look at the data. Let the data tell you what's working. If it's not working, set it as a negative. If it's a keyword and it's not working, maybe lower the bid or pause it. Clean up your campaigns before you have millions of people seeing them all the time.
Yep. And the beautiful thing about that too is even with Ignite, if you don't even have to download those search term reports, Ignite just pulls it out for you, so you can see everything nice and clean right in front of you if you ever want to. So
right.
It's definitely
and I think
useful.
So Edward, you just said something. I want to touch on it a little bit deeper. Do you believe that people should scrap campaigns and create new ones, or should they try to fully optimize the campaigns that they have?
Why not both? But really though, there's benefits to both of those. So when you have an existing campaign, you have a lot of data, you have a large amount of history that's coming through as well. And that can be used to help you get sometimes better placement and maybe more results just because it has that history in the algorithm for Amazon. However, if you have a campaign that just hasn't been working and it's not converting well, it's not actually providing the right results for you, then it definitely may be a time right now to create a new campaign. Because by creating a new campaign, there is this, the benefit of the doubt that we've talked about before, Jeff, where Amazon can just kind of throw a lot of traffic at a new campaign because they see it as an opportunity to, increase the amount of shoppers that are actually making purchases. They throw all that traffic at the campaign, and if the campaign is structured correctly and is actually set to win, if that traffic starts converting, then you are able to actually keep that traffic in a sense. It's going to continue to push that traffic towards it because it sees, oh, okay, if I push traffic towards this campaign, it's going to convert because that's how it's done in the past. So you can even take the winning terms and the winning keywords and things like that from previous campaigns and combine them into one. And that can be a good way to do that as well. So you can make sure it actually does work and it does convert for you.
All right. So wasted ad spend. Now I've looked at my wasted ad spend. What am I going to do next?
So next, you need to find strong campaigns. This is really big because you don't want to just focus on all the ones that may work or the ones that are possibly going to work. You want to also focus on the ones that are very, very strong and they've done well for you in the past. This is where you can put in a lot more of your money and time because you know for a fact that it's worked. You just need to up those bids, up the budget so they don't run out. So then that way you're just kind of capitalizing on the fact that this campaign works, but now you have more traffic going towards it.
And, also with that, investing in strong keywords and campaigns, a big part through the Q4 right now is, of course, when you see that keywords are working, whenever you see that campaigns are working really well, you need to take off with it. Use that. Make sure you're taking advantage of that because that's really what's going to make sure that you're really taking full advantage of this high traffic period of the year and you're getting as much return as you possibly can.
Yeah. And this should be something that you're already kind of doing right now, just in normal optimization of your campaigns, but now it's even more important. So it's time to double down and make sure you're focusing your spend on what's working. If it's working, what is it? If it's working, it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. Is that? What is it, Jeff? You know all these things.
Well, I think they know we're not reading from a script.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that was all scripted. Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'll probably put it on a t-shirt or something on Amazon merch.
I guess I can read better. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. So really just invest in what's working, guys. And then another great idea is holiday specific campaigns. This is going to be both sponsored brand campaigns, previously known as headline search ads, and then also just normal sponsored product campaigns that you have running. I will say it may not be the best idea to go after keywords such as gifts for her, gifts for him, unless you are indexing for it. Believe me, because we've tested this. Usually you don't get a lot of traffic on those types of keywords unless it actually is part of your listing in the back end or you're actually showing up as a relevant search result for that anyways. But if you are selling gift products, if you are selling something that really is targeted as a gift, you can do that by optimizing your listing, organizing your back end so your relevancy goes up for those types of keywords. And that will give you a kind of a push for those types of ads. When it comes to headline search ads or sponsored brand ads, this is going to be making a sponsored brand ad that maybe has like a holiday specific headline inside of it. So it is more seasonal, maybe having a different image on the left-hand side of the ad that actually has snow or a Christmas tree or something inside of it. Just so that way it does bring about the idea of buying gifts, and people that may be looking for a holiday gift are more attached to these types of ads, and that can also build up your brand awareness as well. So this is just an idea that we always try to do with a lot of our clients.
Yeah. Dayparting campaigns. Yeah. So this is a fun one. So in Ignite, we have a feature to allow you to be able to turn on and off your campaigns automatically, and basically just set up these dayparting campaigns. Basically what that means is, if you know the times where your product sells best, you can just completely cut out those hours, cut out those times of the day, times of the week where you're seeing that you just throw money away, where you're not making sales. And you can just focus on making sure that your advertisements are only running in the times whenever they sell. Right. If you need to figure out what times your products sell, that's a little bit more of a step. Maybe a little bit too late before the holidays, but it's something, we can definitely try and touch on. And I'm sure it's been touched on multiple times before too.
Still, you have data from before, from just like your organic sales. You can kind of look over and see how your product sells organically over throughout the days. But remember, this is different from your advertising sales. With your advertising sales, it's kind of like a different market because there's a lot of other competition targeting directly for the type of searches that you are as well. So honestly, like there's multiple ways to learn this. Honestly, guys, you can start this now if you want to. You can get some data and then apply it throughout next week. You can create a day parting campaign that's just the same data, like the same keywords with the same products, and have it running, let's say, 4-hour or 6-hour increments. And then that way it'll give you at least a better idea about which part of the day is better for you, which part of the day gets better conversions and traffic. And then once you find that out from that test campaign or like that winter campaign, then you can possibly apply that to your other campaigns. You don't have to do 40,000 different day parting campaigns to find out what works. If you find out for one set of like your top products, it should normally apply to the same, because it's usually different. Day parting is different for all the other types of categories. Every category has a different best period a lot of times. And it's never a direct science, but this will give you a good place to start.
Yeah, and I guess you could always go all the way down to the fact of just looking at your orders, and your orders are going to have a date and they're going to have a time that the order took place.
Right.
And you can try to, look at it at that regard. It gets a little bit hairy. You got to create pivot tables to understand which products we're selling on which day. I think ultimately, like, to keep it simple for people who want to try to apply something like today, with day parting being part of the tool set of Ignite, it really comes down to, do you not have enough budget to get you through the day?
Right.
Everyone's budget, just so you know, everyone's budget resets at midnight Pacific time. So at midnight Pacific time, everybody is like bidding on a keyword. At some point in the day, those budgets start to run out. So do you want to not bid as heavy during that time when everybody else is bidding, and wait and be more aggressive in the afternoon?
Right.
That's just really kind of some things you need to develop strategies for, and then test. And I think that's the kicker is you gotta test this stuff, because you can't just be like, oh, Ed and Jeremy told me to day part, so I need to day part. You gotta test this stuff. You gotta.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's gonna work.
Just remember, guys, even though you want to be cool and you want to try it out, have data to kind of back it up. Somebody asked a good question about it. They said, do you pause the campaign when it's not making sales? I'm not usually for that. I may just have another campaign that has lower bids and a lower budget, so that way I'm still getting relevancy throughout the day. But the big campaign that has the more competitive bids and the higher budget is the one that kicks in during the time of day that actually converts the best.
Right. So what Ignite's going to do is it's going to stop one campaign and start another campaign. So if you don't have another campaign for that time period, then yes, you're paused.
Right. Cool. And then
awesome. So there's some new features on Amazon.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about product targeting and maybe who should and who shouldn't do this?
You mean product targeting campaigns?
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
This is the coolest thing I think I've seen come to Seller Central since good old headline search ads. So product targeting campaigns are awesome. It's taking some of the same type of ideas from AMS and people that are selling through Vendor Central. And what this allows you to do is you can actually target specific ASINs and categories, just like a product display ad over there in AMS. Now, this is incredible because, first of all, I'm going to tell everybody the secret. Bids are super low. I think we have someone we're doing it with where we got a couple sales for a grand total of 68 cents.
It's great.
Just because it's a new way to target, it's a new type of ad. It's not as competitive yet. So get on this now. Definitely. Are you doing it right now?
On how many accounts you mean?
Yeah. Like we're doing it on like
as many as I can. Yeah.
And what this does, guys, is you can actually, when you're creating the ad, you choose to make a manual targeting campaign, and it can choose to either do it by keywords or by product targeting. And then you can actually literally search just a brand. Like if I want to target, everything that, I don't know, Nike makes, I can just search Nike and I can target specific products that Nike makes. And this means my ad will show up whenever someone goes to that. On top of that, I can also look at a category. I can target categories. If I want to target the whole entire, athletic shoe category or something like that. That's another option. And it's proving to be really awesome so far, just because it's so cheap. It's not that high risk, and you have a good amount of results coming in. So you actually need to be careful though, because I would say bid more aggressively, possibly, if you don't see impressions coming in. We are seeing these aren't getting as much impressions as like, normal campaigns are. We don't know if that's really just because people haven't caught on to it yet or if the placement's different really. But I would say if you see that, try to be more aggressive with your spend after you try it for a little while.
I definitely think part of what's going on with product targeting too is a lot of people don't know it exists because it hasn't really been announced and they don't know where to find it. I saw some questions pop up about this a little bit too. Basically, it's a part of the manual campaign. So whenever you select to create a manual campaign, there's the option to target by products. And once you click that, it basically gives you the option to either enter ASINs, to enter categories, or to enter negative ASINs.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's awesome. I've been having too much fun trying to create stuff with these. It's been really cool. A lot of really cool things you can do with these campaigns.
Yeah. And this is cool too, because no longer do you have to target just a brand keyword. Of course, I definitely still say do that because that's a good way to get a competitive edge. But now you can actually target the brand, then you can target all the current ASINs that they have currently available. And you can also target the category that they're in. So it's just like becoming more and more competitive, but competitive in a good way because you have more direct targeting.
Yeah, and I think that when it comes down to it, like this is new, right? So if you haven't figured out, like go back and watch our webinar on the biggest mistakes that sellers make, right? If you're still working on those mistakes, don't start working on things like product targeting, bid plus, things like that. You got to have clean campaigns. You got to have well-organized campaigns. You got to have keywords that matter. Then you can move forward to these types of things. These are the more advanced type of things that you can you guys could be, looking at. Yeah. But like the best webinar for you to watch, like if you haven't seen our other webinars, is the one on common mistakes that sellers make. Because we see people who want to do the advanced stuff, but they just have to like know what you know. I guess that's the best thing is like know what you know and know what you don't know. And if you need an expert to do it for you, have an expert do it for you. And if you've learned enough to try it yourself, sure, go ahead and try it yourself.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, I think the thing that we want to wrap up here before we get into the Q&A is that it's not too late, right? Like it's not too late to get yourself organized in the next week. It's not too late to take advantage of the holiday season. It's not too late to win with Christmas. It might be too late to get your products into Amazon.
Yeah, I would say so.
Might be too late for that.
Maybe.
Hopefully you've already done that, but it's not too late. And you just need to prioritize your list and take care of the things that are going to give you the biggest impact, and focus your energy on those things.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's do a little commercial, and then we'll come back for the Q&A. So Seller Labs has a tool. It's an ad campaign management tool. It's called Ignite. Even our PPC experts, as they're managing accounts, they use our tool to manage the accounts and to get the efficiency. And the biggest reason why is because you got to create a process and you got to have data, right? I mean, that's what you guys make all of your decisions on.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. You have to have a process and you can implement it better with Ignite. It has better reporting. It has the dayparting. It has a lot of things that Amazon doesn't, and it makes it a lot easier to get things prepared and make decisions for our clients' accounts.
Definitely.
Yeah. What did we talk about, Ed? We called it spam. You have to have a system. You have to have a process. And you have to, and that was the A, and metrics.
Metrics. You have to do metrics.
Right.
Exactly. Spam.
Yeah, that's because we like spam.